Welcome back, everyone. Today happens to be day 3 of our course. Let me share my screen. Please ping me in the chat whether you are able to see my screen. Yes, it's visible. Thank you so much for your response. Before we start with new things, let's recap what we discussed yesterday. Can you please tell me how many types are available for headings in HTML? It's already here, I know, but please. When we should use H1 tag? Please answer. And when we, if we want to write a paragraph, which tag we should use? And then what we discussed, apart from paragraph and index, what we discussed? If I will just take this example. Today I will open Flipkart. If I want to show this image, then which tag I should use? And in which attribute we should specify the path? And on click of this image, it is showing me the order details, right? Which tag I should use for that? If I want to show this order details in new tab, which attribute I have to set? An anchor tag. Target value should be? Yes, I should use target attribute with value blank. Correct. And what else we discussed regarding anchor tag? Can I use anchor tag for accessing external website? Yes, thank you so much for your response. We'll go one by one. We discussed headings in HTML. We will use H1 or H tag to represent headings. We do have H1 tags and then H2, H3, H4, H5, H6 for to represent headings. H1 is the biggest one and H6 is the smallest one. And in order to represent paragraph, we will use P tag. For commenting in HTML, we should use this syntax. And here we should present the content which has to be which give us the comment. In order to display the image, we should use image tag, and in source attribute we should specify the path, and in alt we should say if the image path is invalid, what value it should display, that we have to specify in alt attribute. And then we discussed about line breaks. As by default HTML avoids extra spaces and all, we should use break tag, br tag, to add extra line. And then we discussed about links in HTML, link tag in HTML. We can use anchor tag for external links, internal links, and also we can use image as links. And even we can use anchor tag to navigate to the scroll to the specific position in a page. That also we discussed. Yes. Any doubts here? Please ping. Any doubts on these topics? Okay, if no doubts means let's close this file and I will open new text file for day 3 content. I will start with new topic today. Let's try to understand this. What I will do is I will open new tab and I will say highlight characters website. I'll just search for this. Can you see here? Here there is a sentence, and in between the sentence, can you see this text has been highlighted, and also this web page text has been highlighted, and even this text has been highlighted. How can we achieve this? Can you please ping? How can we achieve this? In HTML, if we want to highlight anything, then we use strong tag. Okay, it is strong tag. Let me give an example. I will open the editor. I will create sample HTML file. See here, I will create one paragraph. Same lorem I will create. Okay. Now, how I can execute this file? Please answer. Yes, using live server. You just have to right click and then say open with live server. See, it is a normal paragraph now. In this, I want to highlight this one, $SIT. How I can do is, I just have to enclose $SIT with strong tag. So this is the opening tag, and by default, it has already given me the closing tag. And in between this one, I should place my content, which has to be highlighted. You might say that, okay, for highlighting, we can use H1 only, right? That is not possible. I will tell you. See, this is heading. Heading is different, highlighting is different. If you see here, heading has its own size. In the same paragraph, if you see this size is same only. We just want to highlight this one. In this scenario, we should use strong tag. Okay, is that clear? Don't get confused with heading and strong tag. We can use a bold tag as well. We do have this. I will just write it down here. We can use B tag to make it bold, but as per HTML5 documentation, it is recommended to use strong tag. So we should all, as a good practice, we should always follow the documentation, and this is the recommended one. So we should go for strong tag. Okay, understood? Yes. Now highlighting is fine. We might want the text to see differently. Say for example, now it is highlighted, right? Instead of this, I want to make it as italic. Italic means, you know, right, how italic text would be. I will give some example. Italic text. I don't want the yes, this one, copy and paste. I don't want the text to be highlighted. Instead of that, I want the text to be displayed differently. In that case, I should go for emphasis tag. And what is the syntax, if you ask me? It is, I will create one more file. I will take the same example. I'll just create new file, em.html, and I will paste it. Instead of strong, I should use em. Em stand for emphasis. And I will just open it with live server. You can see here, it is looking differently, but it is not highlighted. If we want the text to see differently, then we should go for emphasis tag. Is that clear? Let's take the notes then. When we should use emphasis tag, tell me. Tell me. And when we, what is the syntax? Which tag we should use for emphasis? Em, correct. And when we should go for strong? When we should go for strong tag? Yes, in order to highlight the text, we should go for strong tag. Is that clear? And we'll take down this example as well. I'll just add the example. Yesterday, somebody asked me, ma'am, in HTML, spaces are not allowed. If we add more spaces, then by default, HTML ignores it, right? How can we add a space in HTML? If we want to add extra space, then how we can add it? I'll create new file for that. Please answer if you know the answer. And also you might have seen special characters like copyright characters in HTML, right? How can we achieve it? And also, if you see, I want this angular brace, this closing angular brace is there, right? I want this one to appear in my screen. Say what I will do, I will do like this and I will try to run it. It's coming over here. But do you think Angular braces as its own significance in HTML? Correct. So if we add one more Angular braces, it might confuse other developers. So these characters are special characters in HTML. And in order to represent special characters, we should use the characters which are specified in HTML documentation. What are all those special characters, if you ask me? I will go to W3 schools and I'll search for special characters in HTML. See, it is providing all the information. And we discussed about copyright, right? You might have seen this one in most of the websites. Copyright, all rights reserved, something like this. So for that, what we have to use is, you can either use entity or number. uh, in my case, I will take copy. I will add this. I will say h1, and then we just have to copy that, whatever we got it from the website, based on the requirement. Now in my case, I need this special character copyright. I'll just say copyright, all all rights are reserved. And if I run it now, see, it's coming. And also we can search for other characters as well, whatever we need. And in order to add the space, we will use and %nbsp semicolon. All special characters will start with this symbol and ends with semicolon. It will start with and % and then semicolon. Okay. I will add it now and see. See, you can see extra space over here. And if you need more spaces, then you can just copy this one. And I'll just save it. You can see here. This is how we can add spaces in HTML and also special characters in HTML. Are you clear? We'll take the notes then. I will give the reference and also I will give the example. If you want to add more special characters, then you can refer this documentation and add whatever you want. Is that clear? One person is asking, can you explain again, ma'am? Sure. In order to represent the special characters in HTML, we should use the name specified by HTML documentation. Either we can use this one or this one. For example, say if I have a requirement to add this copyright symbol, then I should take this value and I should use it. Is that clear now? And if you want to add the symbol, then you should use this. For arrow key, you should use this. It's like that. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And we'll take down this example. Next, we'll see the important concept in HTML. Do you aware of list? Why we will use list? In simple terms, if you hear this word list, what do you think of? For example, say I have a group of elements. My favorite cricketers are Sachin, Dhoni, and then Virat Kohli. So these names can be grouped together, right? How can we display the related items in HTML if you ask me? It is using list. One by one, I want to display. For example, say our requirement, I will type it over here. I will say my favorite players. I will say Sachin, Dhoni, and then Kohli. If I have this requirement, then I should go for list. HTML list allow web developers to group set of related items in list. Here it is related items because all are cricket players. And if you ask me my favorite fruit, like that you can just represent, or else favorite fruit, dish or place. Like this you can just group and you can just display the elements. For that purpose list will be used. Are you clear? If you take some example also, I will take Amazon again. See, here trending is one group, and under trending, bestseller, new releases, movers, and shakers options are available. Okay. Similarly, digital content and devices is one group. Under this, these things are available. Echo, Alexa, Fire TV, and shop by category is one group. And here these things are available. Did you get an idea of list now? What is list? It's a group of related items. Okay. And there are two types of list in HTML. One is ordered list. What you saw here, if you see, I have given the number, right? One Sachin, second Dhoni, third one is Kohli, like this. And if you consider the Amazon website, here there is no numbering only. So this one is called unordered list. Here the order is not specified. And this one, whatever you are seeing here, this one is called ordered list because here we are specifying 1, 2, 3 or any numbering. Now I'm saying 1, 2, 3. Instead of that, I can say ABC also. And even in the website now, there is nothing. Instead of that, if I use star also, then it is not maintaining any order. In that case also, it is unordered list. Did you get a difference between ordered list and unordered list? So when we should use ordered list? When we should use ordered list? Please answer. Yes, when we want the items to be displayed in numerical or alphabetical order, then we use ordered list. It does not mean that we will sort the elements by their names. It is not like that. My first favorite person is Sachin, and then second Dhoni, and then third is Kohli. It is something like this. Okay. So then we will go for ordered list. And for ordered list, we will use OL. Let's start coding, guys. I'll just create one more file, say ordered list. I'll create one dummy file. See, same example I will take. I will tell you how we can represent it using ordered list tag. Okay. I'll just have a heading, my favorite cricketers. So for ordered list, we will use what tag? OL. O means ordered, L means list. And whenever we will open the tag, we should close it. And what we have to do here is, we should represent these items, right? Sachin, Dhoni, and Kohli. For representing the items in list, we will use LI tag. L means list, I means I. It is list item. That's why we will use LI tag. Are you clear? I'll say Sachin and then LI, Dhoni, and then I will say LI, Kohli. Are you clear now? Okay, I've just written it. Let me execute it. See, this is what my expectation was, right? And it is working fine. By default, always remember when I opted ordered list, it will show the elements with numbers. Order will be shown in numbers. And if I want to show the elements in alphabetical order, then we should use an attribute called type. So what I will do is, I will go back. I will copy the same thing. Here what I will do is, I will add type. Since I want it in alphabetical order, I should say A. That's it. Now if you see, it is in alphabetical order, A, B, C. And if I want it in lowercase, then what I just have to do is, instead of uppercase A, I should replace it with lowercase a. Is that clear? Is that clear on this point? So by default, it would be in numbers. If we want it in alphabetical order, then we should use uppercase A. If we want it in lowercase alphabetical order, then we should use lowercase a. Is that clear? And we should use type attribute for that. Any doubt? Okay. So now we saw number, alphabetical order and all. Even new Roman number ordering is also possible. You might be aware of Roman numbers, right? I will just say Roman numbers. See, these are this Roman numbers. Okay. If I want it in Roman numbers, what I have to do is, I just have to change the type attribute from A to I. That's it. And if I go back now, see, it is in Roman numbers. And if we want it in lowercase, what we have to do? Tell me. Tell me. Yes, it is lowercase I. That's it. Are you understanding? Are you following me? It is so simple, guys. See, OL means ordered list. So first we will take OL, okay, and then we're representing the items, right? And it is list items. In the list, we are representing the items. That's why it is LI. LI means list item. Then we will display it. And if we want it in alphabetical order, then we should go for A. If we want it in new Roman number, then we should go for I. That's it. That is what you have to remember. You just have to remember this thing. Are you clear on this part? Now I will give notes. Tell me why we use a list in HTML. List, what list will do? It will help us to group set of related items. Don't, please remember this word, related items. We can't just list unrelated items. We can do that, but we should not. Okay. And how many types are there? Yes. And what are those? When to use ordered list? When to use ordered list? By default, ordered list will be shown in which order? Numerical, correct. And if we want to replace it, then what we should do? If we want it in alphabetical order, what we should do? If we want it in lowercase, what we should do? Yes, type is equal to A. And how about Roman numbers? Can we represent? How about lowercase Roman numbers? Any doubts on ordered list? Now tell me when we should use unordered list. When we should go for unordered list? Yes, if we don't need any numbering, then we should go for unordered list. And what is the tag we will use for unordered list if you ask me? For OL means ordered list, means unordered list means what? It is UL. UL means what? Unordered list. Let's take an example for unordered list now. Okay, I will create one more file, unordered.html, and create sample HTML file. What I will do is, I'll say same thing, my favorite players. Now I will use unordered list. It is similar to ordered list. I just have to replace OL with UL. And then I will add list items. LI means list items. I'll just copy the same thing and I will just replace the content. It is Dhoni and it is Kohli. And we'll just run it. See, this is how it is displaying. And now if you ask me, for ordered list, we have options, right? Numbers and alphabetical order or Roman numbers. Like that, for unordered list also, we have an option. Okay, if we don't, like Amazon website, we don't have any special character over here, right? Like the way it is displaying it over here. How we can achieve? If you ask me, I will just copy this and paste it over here. If you ask me how we can achieve it, it can be achieved using CSS. I know CSS is not done yet, but just remember this syntax. I am applying style attribute to UL tag, and then I'm specifying the property least style type. For ordered list, we add type attribute, right? But for unordered list, we don't have type attribute. So what we are doing is using CSS, we are controlling the behavior. Okay, and we should specify the property least style type to none. Don't worry about the syntax as of now, because CSS has not been covered yet. But just remember, we should apply style attribute and we should specify the property least style type. And if you say none, then now you only see what will happen. See, it is not showing anything over here. Like that, we do have other options. Let's see these things one by one. We have an option called square. Square means by default it is in disk, right? If you see here, it is disk. This is called disk, and whatever we are seeing is square. And we have one more option called circle. This one you need not to remember. Just remember that for unordered list, we will use UL tag, and for listing out the items, if you know we are using LI tag, then it should be enough. This is for more reading. Okay. If you want to know more, then yeah, you can read about it. And next option is circle. See, it is showing circle. By default, it would be disk. Okay. Any questions on this part? I will just add this code in editor. From the editor, I will just copy it to the notes. And I will add this note as well. How we can control the. Are you clear with this topic? List and ordered and unordered list. Are you clear with this? For unordered list, we don't have type attribute. That's why we should control it using CSS. Just remember this one. Okay. Next, we'll go to the important topic. Even list is also very important, guys. As I said, in real time also, we will use it in so many websites. It is very helpful. So you should be familiar with list concept. Next topic is tables in HTML. Mostly when you're working in any project, or if you're working as a front-end developer, then you will get this requirement for sure. Representing something in table format using front-end technology. It would be there for sure. And even whether you are working with some frameworks or libraries, you should aware of HTML table, how we can create HTML table. I can just search for websites using tables. I can give some example, then you will get to know. See, in this website, we are displaying name level, right? We have 2 columns and we are displaying information over here, and we are displaying level information over here. This is nothing but a table with 3 columns. Third column, we don't have any heading. We just have a link, right? So this is nothing but a table. And if you see over here, see, we have a table over here. Like this, I can give plenty of websites. As of now, I'm using Trends website link. As like this, I can give plenty of websites which are using tables. Okay. So table is very, very important concept. So please listen. To create a table in HTML, it is very simple. Which tag we will use? Can you guess? Anybody in the class? Yes, you are correct. It is table tag. Okay. What I will do is I will directly go to editor and I will explain how to create table and what is the syntax and all. Okay. I will create new table. Sorry, new file called table.html. Okay. I will give the heading as my first table. Okay. So as I said, we will use table tag that you know already. Okay. So if you consider this table, whatever you're seeing, you have 2 sections here, right? One is heading and another one is content. This is nothing but table heading, correct? This is table heading and this is table body. This is table heading and table body. So we need 2 sections. Okay, one is table heading and one is table body. Okay, So how we can represent table heading in HTML, if you ask me, it is T-ed tag. T-ed. T-ed tag. And one more section is what? Body tag, right? It is body of a table. So it is T-body. Are you clear with this? Okay. Then see, we have a table headings here. This is name is a table heading and level is a table heading. And this one is also table heading. Now we'll try to create some employee information. Okay. So maybe I can take this example only. Fine. I will say table heading. For table heading, we will use tag called TH. T means table, H means heading. And we will use name. First one is name. And second one is what? Level. Level. So level. And third one column, it does not having anything. We can give some name here, links. Did you get this part? Did you get this part? Okay. Now we created table heading. Table heading section is done. Okay. Now we should use table body also. We should create table body also. If you consider table body, we have rows, right? This is first row, this is second row, this is third row, and this is fourth row. So this is table rows. So what we have to do is, for every row, we should create table row. Say I want to create 4 table rows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So what we have to do? Create 4 rows. Okay. And now we'll say, first we'll consider first row. First we'll create first row. Okay. And here, whatever we are saying here, Kindle power is there, right? This is data, table data. So it is under first row. So you have to go to first row and here you have to create table data and it is represented using TD. T means table, D means data. TD, I will give some name here. I will say, I can see Dafia's name here and I can see, please ping your names. I can give level is, I will say 1, link is link 1, Neeraj, Manoj, Ravlika. They're the first people. So I will in now second row. For second row also same thing. Okay. For second row also we have to create 3 data. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Neeraj and I will say second level and the link is 2. Okay. And then I can see Pasang here. So I will say Pasang and I will say level is 3 and link is 3. Okay. And Saiteja, I can see Saiteja now. This is how we can create tables. Okay. So I will go back. Table, first we have a table, so we have to create table tag. Inside that we have 2 sections. One is the table heading section and another one is the table body section, and we should create table heading and table body. In order to create the table headings, we should use th, and then we should specify what is the column name, and then to create the rows we should use table row inside table body section. And for every table row we have 3 data. In my case we have 3 data. In if you take more columns, then it can vary. Okay, if you take 4 columns, then 4 data would be there, and we should create it. For every row we should create table data. Now we'll go and execute this file. See, it is giving table. Okay. Always remember, guys. So whatever in this website, where is that website? Yeah, in this website there is this line, right? This line, technically we call it as border. Okay, technically we call it as border. By default in HTML, border size will be 0. If the border size is 0, then it will not display anything. What we have to do is we have to go back to table, and we should say border attribute. We should include border attribute. Now we should say, I will say 1 now. Okay, we'll see. So it is taken the border. If I want more, I can give. See, it will create a border. Is it clear? Is it clear? 1 means size. 2, this size, whatever I'm providing is the size, guys. If you see, main border size is varying as soon as I give something else. For example, if I give 8, it is something, it is bigger now. Like that, we can increase. So many people are asking how we can give border only for the heading, only for the body and all. That we'll discuss later. We can do that. We can do that, and it is possible. That's how they have done it in this website, right? We can see it is possible over here. Where is it? I always miss that. Yeah, it's here. Only for the header they have added. We can do that. We'll take down the notes. In HTML, which tag we will use to create a table? Tell me. And what is the default border size? And when how we can increase it? How we can increase it? Yes, by providing this attribute border is equal to 1. And we'll take this example. And we'll add this one also. TH means what? TH means what? T-ed means what? Table heading. T-body means table body. Is that clear? And one more thing, guys. I will go back to VS Code. What I will do is, while typing, we usually might have noticed. You now it is not in the formatted way, right? What I'll do is I'll just do this one and I'll save this. Whether it look nice, if you just give this code to somebody, whether they will be able to understand this one if the formatting and all is not correct. They can understand, but it is very difficult to them, right? So what we can do is we can install one extension for this, using which we can format this code. We can format the HTML code. How you can do it, if you ask me, go to extensions, extensions, sorry, and then type prettier. We have other options as well. I'll prefer this one. I'm using prettier now currently. So you can also use the same thing, or if you want, you can change it also. But always have an extension to format the code. You can just install this prettier now extension, and after that, how you can modify is how you can format is, once you install it, you have to reload the VS Code. What you just have to do is right click, and there would be some option called there would be some options, format document with, you can select format document. See, it formatted the code. And if you want, I will go back, and if you want only particular code to be formatted, then you should say format selection, only format this one. It is not formatted, I'll just format it, format selection. See, this is how you should do it. I will say, what I will do is, see, now I will say format selection. Ma'am, when to use format document and when to use format selection? For your development, always you can go for format document. Okay. In the IT industry, when you start working, say for example, you are responsible for creating only this row. Let's first, I will format this one. I will give an example. Say you already have this much of code, already you have it, and you just have to add this much. Then if you format everything, other developers thinks that you have done other changes as well. Like, even though you are not doing any other changes, they will think that way. So what you have to do is, in the industry is, you just have to select whatever you have developed, and you should say format selection. Only your part of code. Don't touch others' code. Okay? Is that clear? I'll just give this note here. Any doubts? Any doubts? Did you understand table? What is table? When we should use table? And also how we can format the code? Somebody is asking why we should use TED. Instead of that, we can use TR also, and then we can specify TH. Yes, it is possible, but it is always good practice to go with the documentation. Okay. So in the documentation, it is saying you should use TED and T body, and in between you should add the content. TED for heading and T body is for the body content. You should follow that. Even it will help other developers also. If in case if they want to work on the same table, then they can easily understand. Okay. Is that clear? Yes. Let's move on to the next topic then. Yesterday, somebody asked me why images are displaying side by side. And when we used H1, it was displaying line by line, right? And I explained them H1 is block level element, and image is inline element, right? Did you get the difference between block level element and inline element? Please ping in chat. If you say yes, then I will assume that you know that concept and I will not be covering that. If you say no, then I will explain. I can see so many no's as well. Let me explain this, okay? I will take one example. See, now I will add one heading. Heading 1, heading 2. I'm not adding any breaks here. Okay. And if I go back and if I just have to execute this. If I execute this one, by default, it has added this line. These are called elements which will, when we use it, add its own line. We will call it as block level element. It will show block by block. This is one block and this is second block. Okay. These are called block level elements. Okay. Now what I will do is I will create one anchor tag. Click me. I will say I will create one more. Click me. Oh, what I did. See, now I have two anchor tags over here. And now if you see, it is displaying side by side. Even with image tag also, it happened the same thing. It is displaying side by side. This is an example for inline elements. Inline means in a single line, side by side, it will show. Even if I add some more also, it would be like that only. See? See, it is adding like this. Side by side, it is just adding. It is not taking any space. HTML people have decided which should be block level element and which should be inline element. Based on that, they have designed this tags. Did you get this one now? Somebody is asking how to identify. Just go here, W3 schools, or you can take any website. HTML block level elements. If you ask this, it will give an example of what all the things are block level elements in HTML. If you see, all these things are block level elements and all these things are inline elements. Did you get it now? Now we'll cover most important tags in HTML. Okay. It does not have any functionality related things. Like for image tag we will use for displaying the image, right? And tags which I will be covering now does not have any functionalities. It would be used for grouping purpose. If you take any websites here, we'll just go to developer tool. You can see so many div tags here, right? So many div tags. Whatever you have learned so far, you're not finding anything over here. As of now, what you're seeing is so many div tags. Why we will use div tags? If you ask me, it is very simple answer. In order to group the elements. Why we need grouping, if you ask me? Mostly we need grouping to apply styling. Okay. Mostly we need it for that styling purpose only. It won't affect any other functionality. If you just add div, it will not display anything. I will show it to you. Okay, let's take this example, div.html. Okay, then why we are using that much, that also we'll discuss. Sorry, I'm adding it somewhere else. I'll add this div tag. Okay, and then I'll try to run this. So it is not displaying anything, right? Then why it is so important? If you take any website, you can mostly see div tags, right? You can see div. Everything, whatever the blocks you are seeing, everything is under div. It is very important for the application. Why means, in order to group the blocks, this is one block, this is one block, this menu is one block. And see, for example, all these things in the heading, you can see amazon.in and search bar, and this one. In order to group, after grouping the element, we can apply specific style. If you see the background color over here, it is what color? Black color. And we can apply style, right? That is the purpose we will use grouping in HTML. Are you clear? And div is also block level element. Div tag is used to, I will give the notes, you will get it. So div means division. Okay, div means division. Div tag is used to group the HTML elements. We mainly add this division in order to apply the specific styles to the entire block, entire group. Okay, and div is block level element. If you add div, it will create extra line. Okay, we'll see now. Say now, for example, anchor tag is what element? It is inline or block level element? Anchor tag. Please answer. Anchor tag is inline element or block level element? Inline, right? Now what I will do is, I will add one anchor tag here, and after this I will add one more. See how it is displaying? See, it has added the extra line. Why it happened? Because we are using div, which is a block level element. Usually, say I have one heading, and say it will say heading 1. For this heading, I have one paragraph. Okay, what I did. And for this heading, one paragraph will be there. It can be paragraph or image or anything. And then I will copy the same thing. It is like folder structure, guys. For example, I will show the ExcelR folder structure here. What I am doing, I am adding the editor code in one folder and notes in one folder. How does it help me? If I have to provide notes, then I can just go to notes folder. If I want to give the editor code references, then I can just go to the editor code, right? And if I want to cut it, then I can select all the elements. I can just cut it, and I can just rename it. I can do whatever I want, right? Similarly, in order to group the elements in HTML, we use div tag. Are you clear with this? So now, while explaining CSS, I will explain what is the use of div tag. You'll get to know. If I have to give the style for the entire block, then using div tag, I can do that. Is that clear? Is that clear? We'll take this example. And we have one more tag in HTML, which is also helps in grouping only. Say, for example, now div will create an extra line, right? I don't want it. I just want the grouping to be done, but it should be inline. Then which tag I should use? Say I have a paragraph text, and in that I want to group some of the content. Then which one I have to use? I have to use tag called span tag, and you will be using span tag like anything. This div and span tag you will use like anything. Let's take Amazon because it is most popular one. I will show you, then you will understand the importance. See, there are 773 reference, 760 reference. In single page, 760 reference is there means you can just assume in the entire web application how many will be there. In single page means, see, these pages are. Do you think all Amazon website is having only one HTML file? Say yes or no. Say yes or no. No, right? There will be more than 100 HTML files. Minimum 100 HTML files would be there. So in single HTML file, only 760 occurrences are there means just imagine what is the importance of span. Span, mainly it is used to apply style to specific text. Okay. I will give example. You will get to know. I will say it would be used for so many other purposes as well. I will take this one. Okay. What I will do is I'll create one paragraph and I will say Lauren, my favorite one. Okay. I created it. Now what I want is, one second guys. After this, I will be explaining very important concept. Okay. So please don't leave the session. This is very important. That's why I'm stressing this much. Okay. See, here I want to group this one so that I can apply some specific style. Then I will be going for span. Why not div if you ask me? I will go here. First, what I will do, I will show it with div. Okay. If I add div, what will happen if you ask me? It will create it in separate line. As I said, it is block level element, but I don't want it. I just want to group the element, but I don't want extra lines. Then we should go for span. Are you clear? Is it clear? Yes. We'll see now. I'll give the notes. Okay. Why did I add it? Okay. Always remember span is inline element. Okay. And we'll take this example also. I'll just copy it and paste it. I'll just say date span. Is that clear when we should go for div and when we should go for span? You need break or shall we continue? Please reply. So many are saying continue and so many are saying break. Next topic is very, very important, guys. So you need more concentration there. So considering that, I will be giving, yes, 5 minutes of break. We'll start exactly at 8:15. Is that fine? And also, meanwhile, I will be available for Q&A. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Okay. Please ask your questions in the chat. Meanwhile, we'll discuss. Yes, somebody is asking, is span and div are similar? Yes, it is similar. Div is block level and span is inline. That is the only difference. Both are used to group the elements. C and C++ will be used in industry. Yes, we will use, especially C++, we use a lot. If you're from electronics and communication background, then we will use it a lot, C++, if you get core opportunities. You can get notes in ExcelR application. Yes. In order to style the blocks, we use div and span. And also it will help other developers. They will get to know how the grouping is done. It is always best practice to group the elements based on the contents. If you are giving your details and then your education background and all, you have to group details and you have to group education, right? Similarly, we will use grouping in HTML using span and div. We do have a description list, yes, but that is not scope of this course. And also even in the industry, we don't use it much. For unordered list, we should use the style attribute in order to set the type. Yes, if you are computer student, whether it is from BCA, also you will get it. And please tell me the shortcut for the basic syntax, ma'am. Yeah, after pressing exclamatory, press tab or enter. You should be able to get the basic syntax, Anil Kumar. After HTML, we will be covering CSS. Somebody is asking why I'm not getting color code in HTML. Please use the required extension. We require color palette extension. After CSS course, we will be starting with JavaScript. Shall we start? Please say yes or no. Next topic is very, very important. I'll take one example. In any website, if you take Facebook, Instagram and all, first you have to create the account, right? For creating an account, you have to input your details. Do you agree? You might have seen this inputs. You can give your name, which is characters. You are providing sequence of characters, and you can provide you should provide your mobile number, which would be numbers, and you will provide date. And also, if you see here, gender option is there, and here you can select between one. Like, we do have 3 options. In that, we can select only one option. This control in HTML, we will call it as radio box. Okay. So in HTML, whenever we need to accept the inputs from the user, we need which tag? Which tag would be used to get the inputs from the user? In this case, our HTML should accept some inputs. Whatever we have seen so far, we are just displaying something right on the screen, and there is no user interaction. Do you agree? Is there any user interaction? Like, if I provide heading tag, whether user can do something there, whether user can input something over there? Yes or no? Yes or no? No, right? So in order to accept the input from user, we will use input tag, and it is very much important. Okay. Next, we'll see what are all the different types of inputs available. Okay. If it is name, then it is text. Okay. Text. And if we want to accept age or mobile number, then we should use number. And then say if we want to accept date, then we should use date input. And if it is email ID, then the type would be email. As I said here, if I want to select any one of the provided options, then we will go for radio box. And if we want to provide multiple selection, I'll say it is checkbox. We'll take this example. This is an option for checkbox. Here, the user can select multiple options. That is the difference between radio and checkbox. Here they can select multiple things, right? If I ask you who is your favorite cricketers, then you can select more than one. So then we will use checkbox. And also you can choose between the colors, and color type input is also available. Let's go back to notes. When we should use for input tag, tell me. Whenever we want to accept the input from the user, we should make use of input tag. And what are all the different types of inputs available, if you ask me? It is text, and second one is what? If I have to take age, then which type I should use? Please reply. Number, correct. And if I want to take date, then date, correct. And if I want to take email ID, it's email, correct. And if I want to take if a user has to choose between the options, then what is the input type? It is radio. And if user can select multiple options, then what is the type used? Checkbox. And if they want to select color, then we should go for color. we'll see each one of this. Okay, we'll see each one of this. It should be very quick, guys. Please bear with me. I'll just create one more file called input.html. Okay, input.html. What I will do is, first we'll see how we can accept number. Okay. And I will just run this. Open with live server. See, if you see here, I'm able to type characters, but E only E is allowed. Why, if you ask me, we can also enter exponential data. Number is also represented using E, right? That's why it is allowed. Other than that, no other characters are allowed except numbers. Okay, we can use this arrow as well to get the number. Only it will allow numbers. Are you clear? And next one is, we'll take, I will say, instead of name, I will take age so that it will make sense. And then I'll say name. For name, which type we should use? Which type we should use? It is text. Okay. And I will go back. I will add extra line over here. With type is equal to text, I'll just add one more line. With type is equal to text, we can add any characters. You can see it over here. Okay, it will accept any characters with type is equal to text. And we'll see email. What I will do is, I will say email, and then type would be email. Okay, and here you might have noticed, okay, it is saying email, and what is the difference between name and email? Both are accepting the same thing. Now you will not understand, but next topic which I will be covering is forms. At that time, you will understand what is the difference between name and email. Okay. Okay. Somebody is saying text will not accept special characters. If you see here, text will accept special characters also. Okay. Okay. And then we'll see how we can accept date. For date, which type we should use? Which type we should use? On caps lock. Okay. Date. Okay. And then now you can see we can select date over here. It is pretty straightforward, guys. That's why I'm covering it. Now comes to the two important topics, radio button and checkbox. This is the place where most of them get confused. Okay, so please listen carefully. Please listen carefully. What I will do, I will create two radio buttons. One is male, female, and we'll add one more also, that is custom. Is that clear? Custom. So, okay, like Facebook. Okay, it is like Facebook. Yeah, I should add quotes here. So this is fine. What I will do, I will add one more radio button where they can select between what they can select with the radio button. They can pick a color, it seems. Okay, I will say I will provide this option. Red, green. They can choose between these colors. Please bear with me. I will explain why I'm writing all these things. You might be thinking that I have more time, that's why I'm creating two radio buttons. It's not like that. Yeah, what is the difference between email and text? That I will explain when I will explain form concept. Is that clear? Okay. And we'll come back to radio. We'll come back to radio. See, now it created it. It is all looking fine only. I will go back to Facebook. What I will do is, now female is selected, right? I'll just go and select male. Whether after selecting male, female got unselected, right? Right? Do you agree? Do you agree? Please answer. And I will select custom now. This got unselected. It's happening, right? Now we'll go back to our code and see whether it is happening. See, custom I selected, female I selected, male I selected. Nothing is happening. Why? Why, if you ask me, we created a radio buttons. We created a radio buttons, but we have not grouped it. We have not grouped it. Okay, why? How we can group the radio button, if you ask me? How we can group the radio button, if you ask me? Using name attribute. You should say gender. You should say gender, and we should give same name for all radio buttons which you want to group. Okay, now I will go back and see. See, I will select custom and I will select female. Did I achieve it? Did I achieve it? Yes. Now for color, you can see still I am able to select it. Now just answer me. I should give the same name for red, green, purple also, or I should give different name? Because it's a separate group, right? It's a separate group, right? Color choosing, it's separate different one, right? So we should give different name. So I will say name is equal to color. Okay. And I will save it. I will save it. Now I achieved it. Say I will say female here, and if I select purple here, it is not clearing out. That's why we should give different name for different groups. And if I select red, I achieved it. Did you get it? What is the difference? Okay. We should always remember, when you're using radio button, you should make use of name attribute. And one more thing, guys. One more thing. Now, here you're inputting the data. If you say 34, what is the value of age? What is the value of age? Please answer. 34. If I say name is Soumya, what is the value of input? Soumya. Right? And if I select today's date, what is the value of date? 7/12. Correct? Correct? So, but if you consider this radio button, this male, female, and custom, this is just for the display purpose. This is just for the display purpose. Here, if you consider age is a label, 34 is a value. Do you agree? Name is a label, Soumya is a value. Email is a name, and whatever we provide here, that is the value. Like that, male is just a label. And if you want to set the value, whenever you select male, you should decide what should be the value. What should be the value? So what we should do is, we should add one attribute called value for radio button, and we should say, when they select male, take it as M. When they select female, take it as F. When they select value as custom, take it as C. Something like that we should provide. Same thing we should do it for color as well. Color as well. Otherwise, it will take it as on or off. If they select this value will be taken as on, which is the default value for radio button. Okay. Okay. You need not to worry about the default value. Just remember this red, green, purple is just for the display purpose, display purpose. And if you want to store something, then we should specify value attribute, and on selection of this value will be given to this field. That like 34 is value for age, right? Now if you select male for this name, this is group, right? For gender attribute, the value is M. If they select female, gender value is F. It is like that. You will understand more on this when I explain forms. But always remember, for radio button, we should use name attribute to group the elements, and then we should provide value. Are you clear with this? Just say yes or no in the chat box. For radio button, what all the attributes are important? We should provide same name value, and we should provide value. Okay. Yeah, somebody is asking, can we get the radio button? Now it is showing in front, right? I mean, after mail it is coming. If we want it to display it over here, then it is so simple. You just have to replace this text from ear to ear. That's it. See, it will display. I will give this example as well. Are you clear with this concept? Clear, right? Yes. Let's go back to notes. Yeah, before that I want to cover what else we are left with. Checkbox and color is there. Let's cover that one as well. I'll add breakpoints. What I will do is I'll create one input, say your favorite what I can say, games. Your favorite games can have more than one value, right? Like people can choose all these options: cricket, football, volleyball also. So whenever we want to provide multi-selection option, we should go for checkbox. Okay. And what I will do is I will create one more group like this. Here, movie I will take. I will say rocketry. I will say KGF. I will say, which is good, Kantara. Nowadays it's Kantara. Okay. So people can choose all this thing, right? Or they can choose one of this. And let's go back and see how it has been displayed. Here, checkbox, we can select everything. That's the purpose of checkbox. That I agree. Don't you think this group is different and this group is different? Correct. This group is different and this group is different. How we can differentiate between these two groups, if you ask me, using name attribute. What you have to do is you have to give name attribute in order to differentiate between two different groups. Do you understand? Here I'll say movie. Even though you can select everything, it is always good to keep like this. Similar to radio button, even if you don't give any value to the checkbox, then it will by default it would be true. If you select cricket also true, if you select football also true, if you select volleyball also true, means how you will differentiate what value user has selected? That is not possible, right? That's why you should always give proper value. So value will be, you can give any value, say cricket. Okay, so whenever they select cricket, what is the value of game? It is C. Whenever they select cricket, football, value of game is F. When it is checkbox, they can select 2 or 3, any options they can select. They can select all 3 as well. All these things will be saved. Okay, understood? I will give same thing over here as well. Is that clear? We should not, we should always give some value to the radio button and check boxes. This is what will be saved on selection of this. And always remember, this cricket, volleyball and all, it is just for the display purpose. It will help the user to understand what are they going to select. But internally, while saving, we need this value attribute. Like this, you can select. Any questions on this part? We'll also cover last one, that is input type is color. Using color thing, you can what you can do, you can select, you can choose the color. Okay, I'll go back. See, you can see, you can select the color, you can select whatever you want. This is how user can select the color, and this color can be saved. Somebody is asking in which order we should use this attributes. So these attributes not only for input tag, if you take any tags, you can add attributes in any order. There is no restriction on the order, there is no rule on the order. You can give it however you want. Is that clear? Is that clear? We'll take down the notes quickly. So we'll take this example, whatever, what is the title I have given? Title, I'll just change it to inputs. And I'll say and we'll add few notes. Sorry. When we want to add single option selection, which tag we should use? Which tag we should use? Radio button. Correct. And which attribute group the radio buttons? Yes, it's name attribute. If we don't specify name attribute, what will happen? What will happen? Just say, yes, they can select everything. In order to save the value, what attribute we should provide? Value. Correct. Now I showed you, I missed one thing here. Say, for example, as soon as we load it, nothing is getting selected, right? In some websites, you might have seen it. As soon as you come to this one, by default, one of the option will be selected, right? Then what you have to do is, to achieve that, you should add check attribute. You should add check attribute. I'll show that one in action. I'll just go to radio button and I will say checked. We need not to specify any value for this. just add this attribute checked. It is also tag attribute. See, it selected this. And same thing is there for checkbox as well. Checkbox as well. If I, sorry, checked. And if you see here, it got selected. We'll have a similar points for checkbox as well. We'll have a similar points for checkbox as well. When we want to select multiple options, then we will use checkbox. Okay. And we have to give which attribute to save the value. It's value. Okay. And by default, if you want to select few attribute, then go for checked attribute. And in order to group the elements, for grouping, use name attribute, which will help us to differentiate between two group of checkboxes. In our example, we saw. What I will do is I'll just add a checked attribute over here for your reference. Okay, fine. Any questions on this topic? Any questions on this topic? No, right? Are you aware of drop-down menus in the websites? What are drop-down menu items? What tag we should use to create the drop-downs? Maybe some of them are not aware of drop-downs. What I will do is I will create a tag, then you will understand what I am talking about. We will use select tag to create drop-downs. Okay. So what is the difference if you ask me? Both are used for taking the input from the user. Okay. Even if with the help of input tag also, we are taking the inputs from the user. Here, the difference is this input will take whatever we will give. Whatever we will give. Say, I will say available engineering courses. And if I give this input, they will say XYZ. Whether this XYZ course is available in engineering, somebody asked me. Please tell me. Somebody tell me. XYZ course is available. No, right? So we should provide the values. Whatever we provided, user should choose between them. Then we will go for select drop down. Understood? What is the requirement? Understood? So we'll take the example. I'll go here. I will create a new file called select.html. Okay. And then what I will do, I will create this. So here I will say H1 engineering courses. I need not to give the heading. I can just use it. So how we can create drop down as we should use select tag. We should use select tag. And then what we have to do is we should provide the options like computer science, CS, EC, like that. So this is how it should work. Option is CS. I will say option is EC. And I'll say option is mechanical. For mechanical, is it ME? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. And now we'll try to execute this. See, it has provided this option. It is not looking good, I know, because anyways, we are going to cover CSS in the later part. Then we can beautify it. As of now, HTML, it is not part of HTML. So let's keep it as it is. And also you might have, you can see that first option is selected by default. First option is selected by default, right? I don't want that to happen. Instead of that, what I will do is, in always what we will do is, we will add one more option called none. None means nothing has been selected. Okay, none means nothing has been selected. In order to select one of the option by default, we will say we will add one attribute called, like for radio button and checkbox we added checked, right? Like for select, it is selected. So you can see here EC selected by default. Okay, understood this one? Any question on this? Any question on this? And here also it is very important to add the value attribute. What value it should save on selecting this one. If I select none, nothing should be saved because it is none option. None option, none option, right? So it is empty value. You're not saving anything. And here we can say CS. And here you can say EC. And here we can say ME. This value would be saved. And here we need not to specify the name attribute. Why, if you ask me why, or answer this. Answer this or ask me why we should not, why we need not to specify name. We can provide name attribute, that is not an issue, but why it is not required? Yes, they're already grouped, right? These values are under select tag, so it is already grouped, so you need not to. Okay, we can give some name here. Name is equal to engineering courses. Are you clear? Are you clear? When you select one of the options, it will save the values in courses attribute. Okay. Any doubts so far? Okay, I thought of covering forms today. Since we don't have much time, I will cover simple topic called HTML iframes. It is not simple, but in your case, whatever is required, I will cover that much. Okay. Anyone aware of iframes, HTML iframes? Why will use HTML iframes? Say you have one page called about.html, another file called link.html. You want all these two HTML files in single file. How I can give simple example. Say in your website you want to load YouTube website. Then we will make use of iframes. It will load HTML inside HTML. It will load HTML inside HTML. Okay. And in HTML, with the help of iframe, we can load other web page. I will give sufficient amount of time for the QA sessions. I will take extra 5 minutes. We'll cover this topic. And then example, if you want to take, this would be fun, guys. Please watch it carefully. And it is an advanced concept. I thought of taking it because it will make you people enjoy. That's why what I will do is, I will create one file called iframe.html. Is it fine? Okay. And then what I will do is I will create one simple HTML file. I will add, say, I'm in main page. This is the top section, say top section, and this is the bottom section. I will say it is the bottom section. Okay. And in between this top section and bottom section, I want to integrate another HTML file. Okay, how we can achieve it, if you ask me, with the help of iframe tag. iframe tag. Okay, and similar to image tag, we have an attribute called source. Here we should provide the another website information, another website information. And if there are any problem with this site, then it will say, then we should provide some alternative message, right? Like alt in image tag, we can say sorry, some issue happened while could not open, something like that. Could not open the site, something like that we can provide. As of now it is empty, I know. We'll just try here. See, it is empty, that's why it is not showing anything. Now what I will do is I will open YouTube website. We'll say this. Okay, it is, what I will do is I will integrate this one in my application. I will integrate this one. So I just have to, I clicked on image, right? I will provide this path, and I will go back to my application. Refuse to connect. You can see the information over here. YouTube is refusing us to connect to this website. Always remember, guys, when you're using some external website, simply if you don't have the permission, right, they will not allow you. They will not allow you. Okay. But in your real time, in the IT industry, we will be integrating the website which for which you have an access. For which you have an access. Okay. But I know YouTube, what YouTube people are doing is they're not allowing you to the official watch URL. Instead of that, they're allowing you to the embedded one URL. Embedded is for embedding, right? So you can just remember that. What you have to do is you just have to remove watch question mark v is equal to, I will give this notes, replace it with embed, and then slash. Okay, this URL YouTube people are allowing. That's why I'm giving this URL. Now I will save it and I will go back. See, I can I can't do this because for iframe I have given only this. See, it's coming. I can do all the operation. I can share it also. That much is not required. See, it is doing. What I will do is I will give more width and height. I've already discussed about width and height property. See, we'll see now. See, now it is looking properly, I guess. You can just watch it. You can just integrate it. What you can do is you can create one website called movie trailers. Okay, movie trailers, and then on click of that movie, you can say Kantara, KGF, Bahubali, whatever you want. On click of that, it should show you the trailer video from the YouTube. Okay, let it come. I will add this example over here. You can create multiple websites. You know almost everything now. Almost all the HTML files. I only form is remaining, that I will be covering. Already you know for whatever is required for forms as well. Form is nothing but this only, guys. I will show you. This itself. What I did some blunder. Okay. Okay. Form is nothing but whatever you're seeing here. As of now, you know how to create this elements. Only what is pending is on click of this sign up button, it will call the backend service and it will store the data in database, right? Only that part is pending as part of form. Okay. Other things I've already covered. With this knowledge, you can think of multiple websites. You can think of it. Okay. So as of now, let it load, and I've given the example also, and I will provide that note as well. Which I will just say this one. So YouTube people are not allowing us to access the direct website. That's why you should just replace wash question mark v is equal to with embed. Okay, is that clear? Any doubts on today's topic, or anything you want to add it in notes or something? Just tell me. I will do it right away. Any information you need? Any information you need? I think I've not given the notes for white space collapsing in day 2. That's why I'm adding it over here. That's it for today. I will give a 5 to 10 minutes for Q&A. Okay. Thank you all for attending this session. Whoever has doubt, you can stay here and you can ask me your doubts. I will reply. Yeah. Please ping your questions. Ma'am, when we start CSS, only we are left with HTML forms now. After that, we will be starting with CSS. Can we link local HTML file instead of YouTube? Yes, you can do that. Instead of YouTube URL, you should provide your local HTML file. Embed explain once, ma'am. It is so simple, guys. YouTube people are not allowing us to access the URL which we taken from the website. Okay, they're not allowing us to integrate it. The URL which they're allowing, I just replaced that one. Okay, instead of watch, I replaced it with embed. I've given it in the notes what you have to replace. You just have to do that one only. Notes and all, it would be available in ExcelR website. Can you explain once again inputs? Inputs are used to take the user data. If you use, what will happen, madam? Anchor tag without href, nothing will happen. If you click on that, nothing will happen, since you have given href as empty. Instead of checkbox, can we use radio button without grouping, as we can select multiple options anyway? No, we should not do that, because radio box is having specific functionality, right? So radio box is for single selection, checkbox is for multi selection. We should follow HTML documentation properly. It is the best experience. Ma'am, difference between frames and iframes, that is not required over here. What if we provide some YouTube link in href? Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. When you provide href link, it will open the YouTube website. Your explanation is awesome. Thank you, ma'am. Good night. Bye. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye. Anything else? Anything, guys? Quick explanation on iframes if you ask me. when you want to include one web page in another web page, then we should use iframes. Here I'll just inspect this one. Okay, if I inspect it, see, there is one more HTML tag. This is the main HTML, this is our HTML, and this HTML is from YouTube. One HTML, another HTML is it. Then we should use iframes. Yes, we can use that. We can use iframe without using close tag. Value in radio button, if you ask me, as I showed over here, see, for age, if you enter 34, what is the value of age? It is 34. What is, if I give RR here, what is the value of name? RRR, right? Like that, when you select radio button, what is the value of it? That value is what we will specify in value attribute. In real life also it is same thing. How we can embed in the real life, you're asking? How you embedded it in the your file? For embedding, I have not done anything. I just created iframe tag, and in source I provided the YouTube link. That's it. 3 more minutes left, guys. Please ping your questions. If we provide href link, is it open in new tab? For anchor tag, you should specify type is equal to target is equal to blank. Then it will open in new tab. No, we should use only one body tag in HTML. How to download notes from ExcelR website? Please contact ExcelR team on this part. How you can download it? They will help you. Any questions or feedback? You can also give feedback. What is the difference between div and span tag? Both are used for grouping. Div is block level element, span is inline element. That is the difference. How to download material? Please don't repeat the questions. For downloading materials, contact ExcelR team.
So guys, if you have any question, so please drop a mail on edl@excelr.com.
Thanks, ma'am. Great teaching. Good night. Thank you. Good night.
Monica, please drop a mail.
Content, somebody is asking for content and content editable attribute, which is not scope of this course, but you can assume that now you are able to input the value, right? We can input value for name. If you set the content editable as false, then you can't edit it. You can't access the input. Attributes are must add, should in iframe or not add. Ma'am, for every private website, can we use embed? No, it differs from one website to another website. For YouTube, it is embed. For Facebook, it might be different. You can just refer their documentation. You can just say, if you want to embed Facebook, how I can embed Facebook in HTML. You can just search for it. You will get an answer. Embed is only for YouTube. It's 9:05, guys. Thank you so much for attending the session and for your valuable feedback. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Amar, can I wind up?
Yes, Tirod, you can wind up now.